Hello, I'm Ashley Cobuzzi, and welcome to my presentation of obesity in children for IDS 402 Wellness. This project is going to look at health and wellness. It's going to look at obesity in children, and it's going to look at how we can make lifestyle changes to better ourselves. What is wellness and what is health? Are there differences between them? Although wellness has been around for quite some time, it has seen a larger increase in society over the last 10 years or so. In order to be considered positive wellness, we must meet 8 dimensions. Those 8 dimensions include our physical health, our environmental health, intellectual, financial, social, spiritual, occupational, and emotional. Factors that come into play, and most often include everyday tasks such as what we're eating and drinking, and the environment in which we're surrounding ourselves in. Although these are major factors, social and cultural variables also play a role in a person's wellness and narrowly come down to the time and stages of life and the development and exposure that that person has during that phase. So what is health? The World Health Organization defines health as being in a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and that it isn't merely the absence of disease. In order to meet these standards, we must match a multidimensional concept which ties us back to the 8 dimensions of wellness. The United States faces is childhood obesity. Childhood obesity has been a problem for many years, and seemingly over the years, we have transitioned into a generation that is always on the go. With being on the go, we find less time at home and less time for family dinners, so people resort to quick dinners such as fast food and takeout, and we know there is not a shortage of takeout or fast food. The CDC stated in 2015 that 1 in 7 kindergarten kids are overweight, and 1 in 8 of those kids are obese. By the 8th grade, about 37% of kids are obese. It is also reported that by the time these kids become teenagers, 25% of them are too heavy to even serve in our military. The number of children being obese, and that number doubling over the last 30 years, the CDC states that 12.5 million children in the United States alone are obese. With that number being as high as it is, we sit back and try to wonder why. Why are our kids obese? There are many factors that come into play when we look at a person's weight. Sometimes it's uncontrollable and it's a thyroid problem and it's genetic. For the most part, though, contributing factors can include video games, too much screen time, meal skipping, single parents, and although single parents is not the actual reason, it's the income and the lack of income that contributes to more fast food. Depression and poor self-esteem can cause a person to eat emotionally. Education or lack of education in terms of what healthy eating is and how we can eat healthy and maintain a balanced weight. Marketing towards kids. Fast food companies market towards kids in every sense, as they've got bright colors and toys with their meals. A lack of exercise in society definitely plays a huge part in the obesity in children, as the CDC states that 74% of kids are not getting enough exercise. They're not getting enough exercise because we live in a society that's always on the go. The lack of downtime, and with the increased technology, we're seeing more kids sitting inside on a screen than we are seeing children outside. With obesity comes health risks. There's health risks for anybody who's obese. Include, but are not limited to, heart disease, high blood pressure, anxiety and depression, cancer, low self-esteem, joint and bone problems, trouble breathing, fewer employment opportunities, social discrimination, heart attacks, diabetes, and can even lead to death. The problem with obesity is not so much that a person struggles with their weight, it's how it's affecting them in an overall sense. Joint and bone problems you probably won't see in a lot of children who have obesity. However, you will see anxiety and depression. Anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem are going to go hand in hand with social discrimination. As the more these kids are made fun of, the more depressed they're going to be, the lower their self-esteem is going to be, the more they're going to eat. There are many things that affect us. Fewer job employment opportunities can even in turn around and affect your current employment. If you're unhappy or you're having health problems, your employer may not agree with your lifestyle choices. So what can you do? Being healthy is a lifestyle choice. It's a change in the way we view each day and ourselves. Taking small steps to make big changes can lead us to healthier and happier versions of ourselves. Small steps include getting exercise. Even if we're just getting out and walking for 20 minutes a day, that's a step in the right direction. That's a step in getting people moving and bringing awareness to this issue. Getting enough sleep. Our bodies need to be able to recharge themselves, and we need to be getting at least 7 hours of sleep a night. Eating balanced meals. This can be hard for those that don't know what a balanced meal is. This can be hard for those who are always on the go or working 15-hour days. Maintaining positive relationships in our lives. That could be with our coworkers, our family, our friends, anybody we come in contact with on a regular basis. And finally, time management. Having time management is good for reducing stress. If you can show up to work and do what you need to do in 8 hours, you can get home, you can have time with your family, and sit down and have a good meal. I think that it is important to have education, know what it is that we need to do to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We've looked at a lot of information today. We've heard a lot of information. Overall, we've seen that health and wellness do go hand in hand. We need to try to balance our lives in the 8 dimensions, which although that seems like a lot, it's actually not. Many dimensions will play off one another. For example, if we are successful in our emotional state, then our social dimension will balance out on its own. I think that there are many ways that we can improve the obesity problem going forward, and more of this can be seen in the attached document. But in a brief cap of that, I think that education is going to be key. I think that the more we educate people, the more we show people that it is affordable to eat healthy and to eat right, then the less children are going to struggle with their weight. I also think that although obesity is affecting 12.5 million children in the United States, that it is as easy as getting up and getting moving. I think that's one of the biggest contributors to obesity, is that we live in a technology-filled society and kids love their electronics. Adults love their electronics. We get lost without them. But getting moving, getting enough sleep, eating balanced and smaller meals, having positive relationships are going to give you the tools you need to be a happier and healthier you.